According to the statistic of the Ukrainian Center for National Resistance, in 2023, about 5,000 court cases were recorded in Russia, which concerned AWOL from military units after the start of mobilization in September 2022. The partisan movement notes that many of the sentences were related to desertion, as well as failure to comply with the orders of the High Command.
The relevant situation is concealed at all levels of government in the Russian Federation, as such cases are massive and concern the temporarily occupied territories of eastern and southern Ukraine. From the message of the Center for National Resistance on Telegram.
It is known that deserters in the Russian army in particular are recruited by the Z assault companies created on Putin's orders. Such companies are usually formed from convicts and used for offensive actions in the war against Ukraine.
In November 2023, Russian troops intensified checks on the local population, specifically to search for their deserters in the area of captured Melitopol in the Zaporizhzhia region. To identify fugitives, nothing better was invented than forcing them to say "Polyanitsa," an infamous Ukrainian word that Russians cannot pronounce. Ivan Fedorov, mayor of Melitopol, on Telegram.
Russian servicemen are not just leaving their positions, but are actively surrendering. This is what Ukrainian servicemen who are fighting against Russian occupants near the village of Robotino in Zaporizhzhia region have been telling.
The command of the Russian Federation has set a task to capture Robotino in the near future, as they are trying to storm us in large groups every day. Because of this, we had more prisoners. 6 people were taken on the first and second day.
The number of Russian military personnel wishing to leave the service has almost doubled over the past 3 months. This is the statistics cited by the Go by the Forest project. At the same time, according to human rights activists, people convicted of desertion are in no way insured against being sent back to the front rather than to a colony.
People are often given suspended sentences and sent back. The Russian authorities are using every opportunity. They decided to suspend mobilization in the active phase until the elections, and immediately after, in March 2024, a new wave will begin. Because there are not enough people already. Stories that there are a lot of contract workers and a huge number of volunteers are all untrue. There is a critical shortage of people, that is why there is no promised rotation and holidays. And that is why those who are almost crippled and return to Russia for treatment are sent back to the front. Daria Berg, head of the Aid and Evacuation Department of the Go by the Forest project, an interview with Radio Liberty.
Earlier, the head of the U.S. Army Special Operations Command, Lieutenant General Jonathan Braga, said that Ukraine's information operations has succeeded in removing 17,000 Russian soldiers from the battlefield. In response, the Russian command has started to more often apply such methods as death penalty to its soldiers who refuse to follow orders or retreat. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavska, Yulia Hranovska, UATV News.